sculpture. And you're gonna need 2 holes. I've got one wherever you want to put it. Hey, and you know what? For giggles, if you want to do 3 holes, if you want to do 4, if you want to do 5, that's fine. Because these holes is where that wire is going to go, okay? If you have different placements of holes, it might change your form altogether. I'm just going to do 2 holes for now. Normally I'd put a couple extra in there just for experimental purposes. Now, this wire, again, is probably the most important part of this project. I want you to bend, twist, manipulate this wire to try to enter all 3 dimensions. I want height, I want depth, I want width. Maybe you have tight turns. I'm just trying to visualize. I'm going to get up to about halfway point in the wire, and maybe I'll start kind of working my way back. I'm trying to get this wire to go in every which direction. Not only up, but out, to the left, to the right. I would much rather see you spend like 20 minutes trying to manipulate this wire instead of just kind of zipping right through. But ultimately, the wire is going to sit into the holes that you just drilled, okay? Now, this is the part where I said you can maybe start kind of visualizing about what kind of a form you would have. It's really tough to really visualize perfectly, but here's one thing that you can easily control. If we're working from a base, I want you to try to imagine an imaginary plane that shoots up from the base. If you can imagine that imaginary plane coming from all 4 edges of your base, I want you to try to break all 4 planes with your wire armature. So with my wire kind of sort of in place, I can see that the wire kind of extends out beyond this imaginary plane. I can see that the wire sticks out beyond this imaginary plane. Look, my finger actually bumps into it. This side, not so much. You see what I mean? It's kind of a straight up and down. It's almost like it's a gutter. We don't have anything happening here. And then likewise, if I imagine this imaginary plane, nothing is happening here. So it's not too late. I can manipulate my wire to kind of push it out, try to break that plane. I can take my wire and maybe try to manipulate this whole thing to break that 4th plane. Now this is tough to do. Well, the wire, notice how it keeps kind of wobbling and twisting and turning and wanting to not stick around. That's where this last station kind of comes into place. I've got some hot glue over here. You're going to take some hot glue and dump it right into the hole that you drilled. You're going to plunk one of your wires right into the hole and the glue. It might take a second to kind of set up. By the way, hot glue is not glue at all. Did you know that? It's not glue. It's just melted plastic, okay? So as the plastic cools, it will kind of keep your wire in place. And you're going to want to do your second one as well. Now this is the part of the project that, hey man, if you question my loyalty to you, this is where I hang tough with you guys, because it is not easy as a 22-year-old man to walk into Meijer and buy approximately 30 to 40 pair of